Oh, oh no. Oh gosh, that is horrible. I was talking to dead air, and that was bad. Some audio issues, man. That is just that's basically how gosh, that's how things are right now. Oh goodness gracious. Man. Well, just want to be again sorry. It was just weird. Yeah, well, thank you for, and me and all that good stuff. And now we're live. We're 100% live. I was just talking to the air at this point, but now we're here. We're 100%. Let's get this thing. The audio issues are cleared out. And now the audio issues are done. Again, it's wacky stuff. But anyway, mismanagement, WE mismanagement. Lord knows we could talk about that. I could talk more about the WWE or the Janet stuff here. And the same thing I want to say to all that, like the big stuff here, Vince McMahon, the pause on the civil trials or the justice or whatever. I believe I always say this, and I want to continue to say this until I see the perp walk, until I see Vince McMahon going into the jail cell. I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to see any injustice and such. And also, it could end up like what Weinstein's going because he's looked like he's about to get out as well. Remember, he still has like around 20 million in the bank, so all that stuff. But speaking of everything, and still all that stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Um, let's see. Let's see. Um, yeah, speaking of all the mismanagement, Chad Gable's contract is supposedly expiring next week. It has been no new deal between the new sides. Uh he's gonna be like, he's looked like he was going to be right here, supposedly by Matt Bankers of Frightful.com. Other stuff too. You got Becky Lynch, you got Chad Gable, and other stars. I'm just gonna say this. This is just mismanagement because um, this has been a big storyline with him, Gunther, the Intercontinental Championship, all of that. And they didn't sign the deal. They should have signed this months ago. They should have not wait for this. In fact, I'm going to say this about this here right now. There's been teases about Gable and the Creed brothers, which I mean, at that point they'd be called the Loser Collective because the Creed brothers keep losing every single damn time. Seriously, I feel like Top Flight has more victories on in significant events than those two. But that's just my you know, I digress. But yeah, the Gable and this whole huge storyline, this whole big thing about the Intercontinental Championship and everything else around it, it feels just like, why didn't they keep this thing you know the Intercontinental Championship they should have done this 100%. They should have been like, hey, uh, what's going on here? Why didn't they fix this now? That's the question, ladies and gentlemen. That is the question right now. And I hope that these things do answer the questions of this whole thing. They're not quite, but just not. Let me repeat all this stuff. I hope that they actually do sign these wrestlers because not just AEW because I don't think AEW or TNA, but they're working with WWE now, so maybe it wouldn't be a new signing, just be just a step up and a step down or whatever, or they just go to New Japan or other places. They can go to other places. So yeah, heck, I think Freddie Prinze Jr. still has his whole thing about to set up, and hey, Chad Gable, he's not. I mean, they've been building him up, so I mean, Becky Lynch could sign up to that thing too. So that could be something like this thing could happen, and I'm like, this is bad management. And there's other stuff too. I'm not going to be like you know, there's all this other stuff here. There's the man is about to be a free agent. I mean, his last singles match, his last one-on-one match, one of his main ones, was against Sami Zayn, and he beat Sami Zayn. Did all this other stuff about the Alpha Academy, and this guy's about to leave. Congratulations, you made his stock even higher, and that means the yesterday's price is no longer yesterday's price, as Fat Joe wants to say. And they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. They're doing a long-term story," but this is a very dangerous game. You cannot, because again, if he did all this stuff and he just bounced, what does that say? That's like, to me, I'm like, I mean, that's worse than when Malachi did the Aleister Black situation. Aleister Black was they built all that stuff up and they just released him. That was just like, oh, we need to release you. Like, we fired you or whatever. That group didn't fire him, or they just released him in 30 days, whatever. But this is just worse because it's like, who is the man behind talent relations? I mean, who is the person who's there? Who is the man in charge of all of this? Oh, wait. Oh, Papa Hunter. Paul Levesque. He's the talent relations person. And you're letting Becky Lynch, you're letting Chad Gable and other contracts reach to the last second, or other cases, not signing them until afterwards. Honestly, this is a terrible look on him. If you're gonna sign them, sign them. If not, don't sign them. Stupid. Real stupid. And what's the point? It's stupid. And now you just look. What does this prove? What does this again show? A new and different WWE? No, it's more mismanagement. Him doesn't know about PR and all this other stuff. And now this. Once again, why is this man in charge? Why is this person sitting there being in charge if this is your two big stars are just like, well, we'll leave them. Sign them to the deal. Well, they have a handshake deal. Yeah, ask Dixie Carter and AJ Styles had a handshake deal with the club and all that stuff over many years back. And what happened? What happened? I don't want a handshake deal. I don't want a word deal. I don't want any deal. If I'm them, okay, here's your deal. You get a nice little vacation or whatever. Sign on the dotted line so you get some time off, and there you go. You don't want to look stupid, and this is a real stupid thing. Paul Levesque is looking very goddamn stupid right now. If Becky Lynch, Chad Gable, or any other talent leaves because of this, this is just stupid. Beyond stupid. Lock them down, or guess what's going to happen? Your talent is going to go other places. They might come back, but at the end of the day, they're just like, they're going to uplift other companies. Jesus, man. It should not be this hard. It should not be this hard. Sign your guys. Sign your people. Sign them and then be done. What does that tell you about this company? What does it tell you about this serious company? And then there is a I know AEW has its issues, but they locked those guys up. They locked them down. Just don't like, they locked their asses down. Everyone else locking their contracts down. But WWE looks at this. I'm like, you better get this stuff signed. You better get your stars signed up. You better get your people locked down. Otherwise, they will be like, their agents or anyone else on, they'll be like, oh, the price goes up, or they find somewhere else. Trust me, that's not a threat. That's a promise. That's a promise because those athletes, those are people under your who are leaving. They will look at other contracts. They will look at other companies. They will look at that. It's not, oh, they won't do. Yes, they will. That's not threatening me. I'm not doing all that threats and everything else. Oh, they might leave. No, they might. The people behind the ears like, no, you can get some more money and leave. There's no one loyal in this place, and this business is not loyal. There's no loyalty. Doesn't get you anything. So they better not play around with this. But they're playing around. They keep playing around. I guarantee you, this is going to bite them in the butt. And when it does bite in the butt, I'm not going to be one to be like, ooh, what about that? I'm like, well, no. It's their fault. They're the ones who screwed us up. They're the ones, you know, you know. That's what it is. But that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Until there is until they actually sign these people in this contract, I'm going to say this is a big failure on hmm, that's just me. That is just my personal opinion. You know, Hmm. That's just my personal thing. Could be wrong. Could be 100% wrong. And that's all right. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. That's okay. You know, that's all the stuff here. But that's all I gotta say about that subject. That's all I gotta say about that. The mismanagement of all this other stuff. But then again, speaking of mismanagement, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take here. We're gonna talk a little bit more about this, and since I got no music bed, hopefully I can fix that soon because maybe I need to do some other stuff here. But you know what? We're gonna move on to other mismanagement. The Intellivision. It is official. Atari acquires a television brand, but then leaves the disastrous Amico console behind. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Intellivision saga, the entire Intellivision Amico. Good Lord, the Intellivision Amico. Thing, this, this thing. Let me just see if I can get a picture. Where is it? Where's the Intellivision Amico? Oh gosh, where is the Intellivision Amico, ladies and gentlemen? It should be somewhere here, but it's not here. It is beyond vaporware. It is a console that has basically the only people who have it is YouTubers and just stuff. I remember. Let me just see if I can put this up here. Where is it? I'll just put this picture here. Because honestly, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me just see about this stock, this right here. And shout out to Slopes Games Room who did a 4 hour, like almost a 4 hour, like 3 hours and 58, 3 hour and 58 minute documentary. But the one that got the ball rolling was H Bomber Guy. about the oof sound effect and Tommy Tallarico and stuff. It was a little bit. You got a little bit of a taste about the Amico, but not much. And also the CU podcast, Pat, Ian, they were doing this from day one. They have an entire playlist, and I've been listening to that playlist for a while. And I just listened to bits and pieces throughout the year, and I'm like, holy crap! They from the beginning, and they saw all of these issues from it. And Tommy Tallarico, the CEO, and I mean, I saw Tommy Tallarico at MagFest many times, a couple times. He signed a Wii U, balance thing for me. It was weird, but he was nice to me, and he was seemed very cordial. I know he has some bad moments and bad things have happened, and there's some stuff there, and I'm not going to deny that type of stuff that happened. There is, you know, yeah, no, and everything else. Um, this whole stuff here about what he did. Tommy did not just to them, but other people, to see podcasts and such. He just went on a podcast and everything else. Hyping this thing up. And also shout out to the YouTuber Goose. And I'll put the stuff on the description and such. I will and all that the stuff here. Um, Talk about this whole situation. Sweet Lord, man, and saying, "Oh, man, he's gonna kick the VCS is gonna kick their ass and all that type of stuff." Well, guess what, baby? Atari won, and it wasn't even close. The VCS, for all of its stings, was out, and it actually sold. I don't know what it is, but with everything here, and now the Atari and Intellivision, all this stuff happened, and meanwhile, Atari kept going, and all this other stuff that happened. Uh, Tommy Tallarico talked and BS'd every little damn thing and just BS'd his way throughout 2019, 2020, the pandemic, and everything else. Multiple people. He tried, he got hired all these people, but yet sadly did not hire people to actually have the entire, the OS and everything else, the operating system for the Amico. Last I checked, it was supposedly 90% done, supposedly, in one of I think Start Engine when they did another crowdfunding. Which, by the way, another thing that was really pissed me off about this console right here is pissed me off, ladies and gentlemen, is that they said Tommy Tallarico said this console right here in front of your screen would not be crowdfunded, and he gave his word. But guess what? It was crowdfunded. Fig, Republic, Launch Rock, and Start Engine for crowdfunding. And throughout that crowdfunding, I think Fig he got like what $7 million, and then I think Republic I think over 10 million, like $11 million. I'm like, the man they made at least what 17, 18 million off of for all this the crowdfunding, all this money, and what did they have? Few demo units for some YouTubers who are around my level, you know, they're around my level. I feel like I would be in that position too. If I was into this Amico stuff and everything else around it, I think I would have probably been around that whole, saga. Either I would be on the screw it, Smash JT side who like put like what $10,000 in that. Like seriously, $10,000 into a Amico stuff. I'm like, good lord. He started off actually reasonably questioning, saying, "Who is this console for? Who cares about Intellivision? It's not really that big of a thing. It doesn't have much connection and all this type of stuff." And being reasonable, and then he just went all in on Tommy, trying to do all this stuff. $10,000, put $10,000 into it, and there's then he broke beyond broke because of that. And now he's out anti. Like, I've seen the light. No, man, you're trying to get that grift stuff here. But yeah, anyway, whatever. But you know what? Fine, that's what it is. And what this thing, like I said, what's on your screen right now, the Amico. This was supposed to be the backers. This was supposed to be the wood grain one for the pre-orders that they had back in 2020, and that was their first sign. I think Panini says this is a pre-order. Now we can be a lot more critical about this. It was your own stuff, but now it's other people's money. And since those pre-orders and all this type of stuff, we were building all this other, all this money from pre-orders and Fig, Republic, and all these other stuff. It's nowhere. This version of the console does not exist, and all they have right now is a app on the Google Play Store, and barely. I gotta see. I gotta see something. How much is the? Let's see, Amico Home, which is. Cause I gotta see how much is downloaded because. Okay, let's see. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Amico Home. Instead of actually having this stuff here, this Amico Home, which is on, you can put this on your cell phone and all this stuff here. And how many downloads? Only 1,000. 1,000 downloads. And look, you can play Shark, Side Swipers of like what you have to play. You have to get like multiple mobile phones to play about these things. Just a complete stuff. And then they're like, surprise. Oh, we got AI and cars and such. Like, oh gosh, it's sad. The shop here, and this is what it is. This is what they this is pretty much it. And the games are just not really something that people are really gonna play. And by the way, they're still in beta, by the way. They're still in beta. After all this time, the Mika Home is in beta test. And also, here's what it does. The Mika Home turns your smart device into a game console. Even though the phone is a video game console, which funny enough, the Amico, let me just put this right here, has a cheap cell phone technology and such. Which, by the way, I like the fact that Tommy during his round stuff saying it's going to be a lot easier to have 2D stuff in the Amico than in fact, he wanted to be Cuphead graphics. That's what he said. I think one of the rereads, I think he's gonna have Cuphead graphics. And I'm like, and you look at the and yet the Amico, the most powerful stuff, it is a cheap cell phone technology from 2016. And by the time it does get there, so it will get like what? Like 2024, 2025, it would be like cheap cell phone graphics, and that's it. With no games for it. With games that basically look like Fiddick and Fox, that look like something right out of a Newgrounds game from back in 2012. In fact, it looks, honestly, that reminds me of like Alien Hominid. God, remember that? And I'm like, dang, at least Alien Hominid looks fun. I have it. I still have Alien Hominid, by the way. Fun to pick up and play and everything. And that Finnegan Fox looks very clunky. And with the controller too, with that touchscreen, which, oh dear. And now I'm getting to that touchscreen. It was, I mean, a lot of people said basically, I think Giant Bomb, and when they finally look at it, it's like basically the Wii U, which I love the Wii U. I do. One of the few people I have a working Wii U. I play it. I love it. I do all the stuff. In fact, I might try to do a Xena Chronicles X. I wanted to do a Xena Chronicles X playthrough. I wanted to do that, but it crashed on me. But now but you know what? I am gonna try to do it over the summer afterwards. If y'all wanted to see it, go right ahead, say something in the link to the comics, whatever. But yeah, it's just like you have to wait. You have to follow this, and look at the TV screen with a smaller, with a controller, looks like very fragile and pressing. Because look, I got big thumbs and such, and I'm like, what if I break it? What if I break it because I'm trying to jump a little too hard? Um, that's another issue which I think a lot of people don't seem to, they didn't really think about. They didn't really think about that. So these are things that people need to look into, and that they didn't really look into about that. And all this stuff was such, they built it up. I remember I remember like seeing through these documentaries and videos and everything else the past couple of years. Oh man, Tommy just could not stop hyping the thing up. He couldn't hype the stuff up. And all of that came to a head when he was basically had to be pushed out. And by the way, you know what happened to Tommy? Let me just look at this one more time. Let me get here. Let's see. I'm looking at this. What happens here? You know what? He was the founder, CDO, all that good stuff. Guess what Tommy Tallarico has been reduced to? Let me just see. Let's see right here. Let me just contact the shop. All right, here it is. Yada yada yada. Da da da. Our team. This is the Intellivision. And together again. Let's see. He is now Tommy Tallarico was president, CEO, all that stuff. Now it's Phil Adam. Phil Adam, Nick Richards, John Alvarado, Jason Enos, Bill Fisher, Mike Diaz, Sumit Agarwal, who basically has $100. Like he put like a huge loan. Now he owes like $100, for every console or something, which won't get to that because, man, what heck of a loan. And now Tommy Tallarico, the man who was big now, he is just a founder. He is not. He is no longer the CEO. He's now the CCO. He is no longer the president. He has been downgraded to founder, board member, investor. That is it. That's it. He has been done. He has now gone down lower. Him and he has been now going on the video game lives tour and backgammon tournaments. And that's pretty much what he's been down here. That's what he's doing here. And at this point, I don't know why they didn't kick him out in the first place. He should have been kicked out years ago. And now, guess what? Atari, like I said, he requires a television, but yet they don't even want to touch the Amico. Why would anyone want to touch this? What are you going to get? Because look at this. Like now they have all the rights to it, and they're not even going to. The remaining Intellivision Entertainment will therefore rebrand to a different name entirely. What is there? If they have a television, what do they have? Ladies and gentlemen, what does Amico have without Intellivision? It's just another plug and play. And at this point, just again, heck, they could just say when the court comes in, they're saying it's still being developed. I mean, seriously, they are like a mobile application to secure funds, but this is Atari's like way of doing so. They're just Atari, but yet, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the by the way, there's two other games. I think three games: Dyna Blaster, Shark, and let's see, Astro Smash. They now are not in the television things. They are the pillar. Those pillar games. They're gone. They're with BBG at this point. Shark is no longer under Intellivision or Astro Smash. Those games were on the original television. Those games were a part of it, and now they're gone. So if Atari wants to get those games, they have to talk to BBG, one of the people over in Germany who now they pretty much had to develop all those games via tax stuff. And they now it's just like, oh well, that's it. It's sad. It's so sad that this happened. And now, what do you do at this point? What do you have on there? Atari has nothing. There's no way to get this. You know, there is, and I say this again. What is the solution to this issue? I like to find solutions, but I don't think, honestly, at this point, if the Intellivision, I mean, why? I don't know why they just say screw it. It's not going to happen anymore. Pay off their debts, pay off the debtors, and just say this thing is over. Or if they just say, you know what, Amico home with like 1,000 downloads right here. That's the console. That's it. Just say it. That's it. It's over. It's beyond over. There's no way they can actually get their money back. There's no way they're gonna sell all these things. Even if you had someone to come in and have billions and billions of dollars, put this in, there's nothing. There's no way you can get this back. There's no way you can make your money back. And with the Amico console, I just say this. I think this is over. I wish they could just wrap this up and say, we're not getting this. We're sorry. It's done. If they just did this like 3 years ago, 2000, instead of just BSing around and doing what, just say, you know what? There's a lot of things that gave up and everything, man. Just say, you know what? We tried, we failed, and we move on. Instead of just wasting time. They wasted time. They wasted so much time. And what did they got? What is it? What is it? What did this whole waste of time got you a television? All the fans, all the stuff, all of you know, the Tommy Tellerico building everything. What did it got you? This. All of it. Atari buys Intellivision. That's it. It's done. And as I'm paraphrasing from one of my favorite movies, the Amico is dead. Bury it. And honestly, at this point, it would be a blessing. That's all we have to hear for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sticking with me through all the audio shenanigans and such. Hopefully, by next week, we'll get the OC remix back into it. I will hopefully get all the lovely little music and all the stuff because Lord knows I need that. We all need a little music in our lives and all that good stuff. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for listening to me, Duke CT. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.